might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy.
Welcome to Love 101. We join for love, to talk about love and healthy relationships. I'm Naeem Najib, and I'm joined with, please introduce yourselves, starting with ladies first. Jazz down there.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm Jazz. I am a opera major at Purchase Conservatory of Music who is taking a gap year due to Rona.
And M.
Hi, you could call me Emmy or Emily, but I am an entrepreneur currently working on a recipe book for vegetarians and also working with graphic designs and working with my partner with his Project Vibes company.
Yes, that's me. And
Yes, who are you, sir?
Vibes. Project Vibes, bringing the vibes here. What can I say? Composer, producer, DJ, lover of music, spreader of love and truth. That's really it. Nothing much more
Warrior,
than
don't forget that. Right? Well, tell me where you guys tuning in from today.
We're coming in from Guatemala.
Yeah,
Oh,
straight from
502.
Guatemala. 502 for sure. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
how do you guys know each other, M and Jazz?
I don't know, Jazz, you want to start or I can start?
We were part of a Coro program, made us youth council members. So we each represented a different district of New York City and got to interview our councilmen and work in committees at City Hall. I was a sophomore at the time.
Yes, and at that time I think I was a junior, starting a junior. We were together for about almost 2 years, just organizing events for the youth in our community in different sectors in Brooklyn, in Manhattan, in Long Island, in the Bronx. So yeah, we worked together in that end and got to know each other very well. But, yeah.
That's excellent. And junior member over here, how do we know each other?
Well, wait, we go way back to the times in the community, slaying demons and running amok.
That's right. Making money, making movies,
That's
making
right, making
mischief.
movies. Yeah, that's right.
Things.
Doing it all.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure knowing you ever since then, since a young age, infiltrating my consciousness with the message of truth and love, a
Yes,
message
indeed.
which I carry to this day. It's been many years since then. Definitely way before the brandings, way before the dreads. You see, I'm copying you now. Hey, soul brother.
Yeah,
Hey, soul
I was
brother.
gonna say, I see that thing going on.
There you go.
And
You
you
see?
said you got a line from this book here tattooed.
Oh.
Yes, we actually have
I-
ours.
Oh,
Right here,
okay.
baby.
Oh, they got the he's and she's.
It's
Okay.
right here. Can you read it? It's a little sun dried because I spend a lot of time in the sun.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
Nice.
ours right here too.
Yes, right here.
North Morocco.
All right, that's what's
There
up.
you go.
That's the divine.
Which I remember that trip that we took to Barnes and Nobles that day when
Oh,
you
yeah.
gifted me with the chorus,
Hmm.
and how I don't know if you remember when we were sitting outside of that particular Barnes and Nobles and we were just just kind of sifting through it, and one particular fellow came up to us and was like, "Are you two studying the chorus?" And we were like, yes, indeed, yes, we are. And he was so shocked and perplexed by it because I remember he mentioned something like that he had also studied it some time ago, but wasn't able to continue it for some reason.
Mhm.
That whatever turmoil his ego arose within his soul didn't allow him to follow that path and continue that path of light. So
Right.
I remember that was kind of like a testament of the universe kind of proving to us that we're on the right course, that we were right where we were supposed to be, doing exactly what we were supposed to be doing. And
Yes.
to this day, anytime I pick up that book, not only do I get that memory of being there in that space, but also all the healing that has came to me since then.
Yes.
Oh,
Powerful
amen.
thing.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Amen. Ashe.
Ashe.
Boom shakalaka. That's great. So I intentionally didn't have a topic for us to talk about. I just wanted us to come on and connect, and wherever the conversation goes, it goes. But
Yes.
can you tell us the quote, what it is on that you have tattooed? Can you recite it for us?
The quote that's here says, "The kingdom of heaven is within you."
Yes.
So
Okay.
I got this one tatted in particular because being raised, in a Christian religious dogma, household, it's always like emphasized that the kingdom of heaven is something that is outside of you,
Yeah.
Mhm.
something that it's unreachable. That you should do pray as many times as you can to get some wisdom and guidance, and hopefully perhaps if the cards are right, you'll get in, but mostly not. You'll burn in hell for eternity. So when I read this line, it struck me so deep because I felt it. Like, yes, that's exactly like the answer that I've been looking for is that it's within me. There is no kingdom outside. And then when I came a little further along my journey in my knowledge, and got into like some Gnosticism, and came across the 7 Hermetic principles. One of the principles is as above, so below, as within, so without. And so, this quote kind of summarizes that perfectly. And I felt like I needed to have that on my body as a reminder to myself to never look outside of myself for any answers. The blueprint for my success, the blueprint for my happiness, and for all the great things that I want in life are within me.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, you said the answer that you were looking for. So it's interesting to know that quote is actually found. I'm going to share my screen here in the chapter that says the problem and the answer. Chapter 11.
There you go.
Look
The
at
problem and the answer.
that.
So if you would just do us a favor, if you can read this, can you read just this paragraph here?
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful child of God, of the universe, you are asking only for what I promised you. Do you believe I would deceive you? Of course not. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Believe that the truth is in me, for I know that it is in you. God's sons have nothing they do. God's sons have nothing they do not share. They ask for the truth and any son of God, and you have asked it of me. Not one of us but has the answer in him to give to anyone who asks it of him.
So kind of like what you just said, or actually exactly like what you just said, that it's not without you, outside of you. You don't need to get on the Starship Enterprise to go find heaven.
Hell.
You're running to the Death Star up there or something. Who knows? But
or even like the Buddha, eat one grain of rice a day and nothing else.
Yeah, exactly.
You willing to go that far?
Yeah, how far are you willing to go?
That's right. That's
so
right.
I think that's a good place we can start. So would y'all be open to reading through that section in the course?
Yes.
We can just have the conversation around that. So I'll also put it on the screen. You have the book. It's in chapter 11.
Chapter 11.
In the blue book, and it's in part 9, the problem and the answer. And this is God or the ego. So if you would begin with the first paragraph, Jazz, if you can read it, if you can see it here.
Okay. The problem and the answer. This is a very simple course. Perhaps you do not feel you need a course which, in the end, teaches teaches that only reality is true. But do you believe it?
Nah, yo, I don't believe that. That shit ain't true. Just had to answer. That's my ego, boys. Got to answer for the ego real quick because it can't receive this. But go ahead. Go ahead.
When you perceive the real world, you will recognize that you did not believe it. Yet the swiftness with which your new and only real perception will be translated into knowledge will leave you but an instant to realize that this alone is true, and then nothing, and then everything you made will be forgotten, the good and the bad, the false and the true. For as heaven and earth become one, even the real world will vanish from your sight. The end of the
Yes.
world is not its destruction, but its translation into heaven.
Can you repeat that part right there? The end of the world.
I
The
like
end of
that.
the world is not its destruction, but its translation into heaven.
Yes.
Man.
The reinterpretation of the world is the transfer of all perception to knowledge.
Thank you,
Mm.
Jazz. So, Jazz, starting with you, anything in this paragraph that stood out to you?
It stands out that our reality isn't, the end all be all.
Hmm.
Like, there are other ways to experience the exact same things. I mean, even if you consider emotions and the way people think, how humans have many different interpretations of one thing that can happen, and to say, like, the world we live in is no different from what we're expecting at the end of the journey. That stood out.
Okay, nice. Anything for you?
For sure, the part that you had highlighted, the end of the world is not its destruction, but its translation into heaven. You need destruction to realize the lesson you're learning in life, to realize what are the things that you have to heal from to grow. And that moment that you realize that, not seeing a situation that's not beneficial for you at the moment as a destructive, how can I explain it? Like a destructive perception, see it for what it is and learn from it so that you can grow and see that from all destruction, there's light, there's love, there's more opportunities in life. You can't limit yourself from that perception. So that really stood out to me 100%.
I like that. When what you said, it makes me think that destruction in the way that you're speaking of it is not end, it's actually a transformation. Like even when you
Yes.
plant a seed, it has to decay and break down first before it can sprout. So what's there has to be destroyed. Even the caterpillar, when it weaves this cocoon, has to destroy that cocoon, but when it comes out, it'll be a butterfly. It'll be totally different,
So,
right?
exactly.
And here's another thing I was telling someone, because this week, or I guess this last week or two, has been a real revelation for me and a lot of my conversations with people about stop doing so much for people out of your need or your desire to help them when you don't necessarily know if that's the best thing for them. But meaning you think you're
Yes.
alleviating their suffering, but you're actually coddling weakness in a lot of places and robbing them the opportunity to grow. For example, I'm gonna save you from this relationship or from this person or from this whatever in this situation. I'm gonna just give you more money or give you a reprieve or give you this so you can be okay. But that's not the way that it's meant for us to just be. Like, imagine as a kid if we were learning to walk and every time we fell, our parents would just say, "Oh no, little one, oh no,
Exactly.
and then so you never get a chance to actually grow the strength in your legs because every time you fall, like, oh no, don't fall, I'll carry you, it's okay.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you would still be crawling around, and then you're too damn heavy for somebody to be picking up all the time. So you would be crippled in life as an adult because somebody wants to pick you up every time instead of letting you get your lumps and bumps and move on. Another
Yeah.
thing about that caterpillar and butterfly is there's a process where when the butterfly is coming out of the cocoon, and this is in some species, I'm not sure exactly, but I remember watching a documentary where it's basically like, to get out of the goddamn cocoon is the roughest, toughest thing of their life. Some of them don't make it,
Don't
but
make it. Yeah.
Don't make it.
it's
Yeah.
so hard for them to get out. But what happens is, you know, you're a little Bill Nye the Science Guy observer on the side, like, oh, look how that poor butterfly, it needs some help. Let me help it out of the cocoon. And then you help it, you break the cocoon for it. And what happens is it dies. It can't fly because the cocoon was actually designed for that struggle that it goes through to strengthen its wings to the point where it could fly. So if you make it easy for it, its wings will be too weak and it'll fall to the ground and get devoured by some other, you know, predator, which, you know, happens to some of them. But if you allow it to go on its natural journey, then it'll reach its final form, its conclusion, you know, in a natural way. And what seems like a struggle is not necessarily bad. So back to what you were saying, destruction is not bad or final. It's a transformation when you're looking at it in this sense. So that's what you said made me think of.
Yeah. That's right on point.
Yeah, no, that's also Murphy's Law. And
Yeah.
as the 7 hermetic principles I was stating before, is the law of rhythm. You know, states that everything has its rhythm. The pendulum always has to swing one way and the other way, right? For that to always be kept in perfect balance. Yeah.
Anything you want to say out of that that paragraph?
Definitely the last sentence, man, that was powerful. The reinterpretation of the world is the transfer of all perception to knowledge. So, like, my biggest thing on my journey has always been that, like, that word reinterpretation, like reinterpreting the reality that I, you know, what I thought was real in the past, and looking at it from a different perception. Looking at it from a perception, you know, supported by knowledge and by love.
Nice. Here's a fun thing right now. Everybody pick a color. So yellow will be like the general one, but everybody somebody pick green. Who wants green? Anybody want green?
I'll take green.
Wait, I think Jazz raised her hand first. Jazz.
All right. I'll give me the pink then.
All right, so you get pink.
Get the blue.
You get the blue, and I'm left with red. So you said pink, right?
Yeah.
Remember? All right, so that was yours. And what was yours, Jazz? Or was it something in particular?
Green.
Anything out of this this paragraph in particular you want to highlight?
What's in yellow, honestly.
Okay. And M, anything for you?
Yeah, the part that's in yellow.
All right. So
yeah.
We all agree on that. All right, you're up to read if you want, M.
Awesome. All right. The Bible tells you to become as little children. The little children recognize that they do not understand what they perceive, and so they ask what it means. Do not make the mistake of believing that you understand what you perceive, for its meaning is lost to you. Yet, the Holy Spirit has saved its meaning for you, and if you will let him interpret it, he will restore you what you have thrown away. Yet while you think you know its meaning, you will see no need to ask it of him. Wow.
So what sentence do you want to highlight in there?
The first sentence, the fact that it says the Bible tells you to become as little children. If that right there just reminds me of how children how they behave, right? They behave with a very open mind. They go with what they feel. They, you know, they perceive things as oneness. You understand? Where compared to adults, you know, there's more restrictions, there's more limitations, there's more, you know, things that would make us perceive only our thoughts, not taking consideration of other people's perceptions in different experiences or situations. So that really stuck out to me because I always like to have a childlike mind. You understand? Go with the flow, you know, receive everyone as one, even if you're a stranger, even if you have a past that's not, that people perceive as bad or good, whatever, you know, still accepting that person for who they are. So, you know, perception and perceiving an experience or situation is very important. You have to, you know, there's always three sides to every story, not two, not one, but three. The truth, you know, the other person's perception and my perception as an example.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that stuck out to me and reminded me of that for sure. Perception and perceiving things is very important.
Okay.
You know,
And
be very careful with that.
you
So,
know, little children is always simple. It's like, so what do you want to do? Play, right? I want to go to my house. What y'all gonna do? Play. But then as adults, like, well, if I'm gonna go to your house, you gotta have an agenda and a meeting, and you know, you gotta have a schedule, and you know, we gotta have some kind of specific goal here, right? And it's like, y'all no fun. Like, I read something yesterday that says the average person, the average adult, laughs. Guess how many times per day?
Ooh, laughs?
Laughs, like haha, like laughs, like so
I'd say,
average.
I'm guessing less than 10.
lesson.
Okay, you say less than 10, and where are you at in it?
Probably like 5 to 6 times because
All right, so
come
still
on,
less
as
than
an
10.
yeah, still a little less
Yeah,
because
we're talking about adults, yeah.
adults. If
Okay.
it's children, it's a different story. They probably laugh like more than 100 times a day.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question. So you said less than 10, you both said less than 10. Jazz, what do you say?
Less than 10.
Okay, and children, how many times do children, would you guess, laugh a day, junior member?
I'd have to say 50 plus.
50, yeah.
50 plus, and what do you say? 50?
I
You
say
said 100 first, so you
plus.
said
Yeah,
100.
I said 100 plus. I'm gonna stay with my word.
Okay. And Jazz, what do you say?
Just to be the middleman, 75 plus.
Okay, so ask our old friend Google. All right, so how many times does the average adult laugh per day? Let's see what happens here. Okay, it says, damn, the average American laughs, see that, 8 times per day.
Oh,
Wow.
there you go.
That's terrible. That's just
Yes.
horrific. All right.
Yeah.
You're not average, Naeem.
And you know what's the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary?
What's that?
The little bit extra.
Yeah,
So
a little bit.
a little bit extra. And extra we can go from, what is this, 7, 8, we can extra that to 20, 30, 40, 50. We can do better than 8, y'all.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know?
That one made me reflect on myself. Like, damn, I know I laugh a lot. How many times?
Yeah,
do I laugh
exactly.
yesterday?
We
Like,
laugh a lot.
people tell me I'm a smiley person, so that one really made me, scratch my head.
All right. So let's see children. How many times do children laugh per day? Let's see what it says here. Okay, it says the average 4-year-old laughs. One thing says 300 times a day.
Yeah, you see it. So do. I think they're laughing every second. Every second of the day.
That's so true.
All right, average 300 times. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of these results are saying 300, and and adults are ranging from like 5 to 15.
Yo,
So
that's crazy.
That's horrible.
That's crazy.
yeah,
These kids are not, there's so much, they're holding so much more joy in their heart chakra. Not even double, not even triple, not even quadruple. It's like, that's crazy. That's a true fact right there. We need to be more like children.
15 goes into 300 20 times. So on the low end, children laugh over 20 times as much as adults. So for every one laugh an average adult has, children has probably 20 to 30 more laughs.
There you go.
Wow.
Which means laughing is natural, right? So what the hell happened to us?
Of course. Yo, we were at our most natural state when we were children.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So going on to you, Jazz, back to that, what we read, anything you want to highlight, anything stuck out to you, or anything you want to say.
I like the second sentence and the last sentence. If I'm allowed to like more than one thing without being crucified.
have more than one. You're being greedy. Oh my God. You know, no,
I
go
knew it
ahead.
would be you, program.
You had green, right? Yes. So last one. All right. And junior member, anything for you?
I'll take the second sentence too.
Okay.
Sure.
Sec-
Yeah.
But Jazz already took it, so now you can't have it. Sorry.
Jazz,
It's only
you
one.
share with me, Jazz. I think I think if we could come to a compromise, it
Yeah.
won't be a
You got
problem.
it. I got two.
Alright.
You got it.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's only one truth per person here, y'all. All right. So what we'll do, we'll just be like, all right,
Wasn't the
get.
yellow for like everybody's agrees or like multiple agreement?
Well, I'm gonna be
Never mind.
special. I'm gonna be special, and I'm gonna put okay, when I try to put pink and green, it makes it this color. So anyway,
like,
y'all know,
Okay.
y'all
So
know
we got a
we
hybrid.
got a blended
Yeah.
color here. I'm gonna take this first part of this sentence, the whole thing, but do not make the mistake of believing that you understand what you perceive. Just that right there is enough for me. For its meaning is lost to you. But just that part is enough for me to remember, like, that to believe that you understand what you perceive, because perception is not truth. Perception could be anything,
Yeah.
like you said, and
Anything,
it's their perception, your perception, and then the truth. And if your perception is not in alignment with love, then it's not true. So stop trying to believe in what you perceive, because let me take my second course and just jump into this real quick about perception. Let's talk about that. So here we go. It says, can you read this, M?
Yeah, projection makes perception. The world you see.
No, go ahead. Keep reading. I'm just highlighting stuff.
Okay. The world you see is what you gave it. Nothing more than that. But though it is no more than that, it is not less. It's like the Hermetic principle of as above, so below. Therefore, to you, it is important. It is the witness to your state of mind, the outside picture of an inward condition. As a man, I say that,
Thinketh. Yes.
thinketh,
Mm-hmm.
so does he perceive. Therefore, seek not to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world. Wow,
Right there.
100%. Wow. Perception is a result and not a cause. And that is why order of difficulty and miracles is meaningless. Everything looked upon with vision is healed and holy. Nothing perceived without it means nothing. And it means anything. Yeah, nothing perceived without it, it means anything. And where there is no meaning, there is chaos.
So
wow.
there you go with perception. Do not seek to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world, right?
Mm.
So yeah, projection makes perception. So I'm projecting my guilty thoughts. I feel guilty about something. I'm gonna project it on you and then try to make you wrong. You know, it could be about anything. It could be about, money. It could be about my body. It could be about sex. It could be about whatever. Then I want to make you wrong, but my perception is based on my projecting out on you. Here's a principle: love extends, whereas fear projects. So think of which means it has to. Where does a projection emanate from? Like you see a projection in the movie screen. That's it's an image on a wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the wall is not that image. It's just being projected from what? A projector. So that would be like my mind saying, okay, someone that looks like you is bad. You're a criminal. You have dark skin, whatever it may be, my projection. But that idea came out of my head, and I look at you and then I made you bad in my mind, but that image I projected on you is not you. You see?
Yeah.
But that's my perception, and it's not of love, so it's of fear. Whereas extension is always reaching out from itself, meaning you both are physically connected right now. You're extending, I'm put my arm around you. We're both connected in that way, rather than I'm, projecting out. So extension always is attached or connected from within itself, whereas projection is like, no, the real bad thing is going on in you. You're bad, whatever. You had sex before marriage. You violated the principles that I made up in my mind, the rules that I made up. So you're bad now, and now I'm making you wrong when in fact it's in my own mind. So that's the difference between love and fear. Love extends, fear projects. So,
Absolutely.
all right.
Yes.
Moving
Agreed
on.
with that.
Yes. 100%.
So, junior member, will you read this next section
Yes.
from here?
You do not know the meaning of anything you perceive. Yes, that's very true. Not one thought you hold is wholly true. The recognition of this is your firm beginning. You are not misguided. You have accepted no guide at all.
Damn, just hold on right there.
Damn, that's right. The blind lead the blind.
I think we could make that highlight that in yellow, because everybody, like, really? You saying I'm not misguided, you just haven't accepted a guide. Your ass is lost. Okay.
You don't even know you lost, bro. Damn. Where my GPS at? You got that right? All right.
Continue, yes.
I'm just gonna read it again, right? You are not misguided. You have accepted no guide at all. Instruction is perception. Instruction in perception is your great need. For understanding is your inheritance. Right? No, did I skip a sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah. For you under. Oh yeah. So instruction in perception is your great need. Right? You need to be instructed in how to perceive and love. For you understand nothing. Recognize this, but do not accept it. For understanding is your inheritance. Perceptions are learned, and you are not without a teacher. Yet your willingness to learn of him depends on your willingness to question everything you learned of yourself. For you who learned amiss should not be your own teacher.
Yeah. Everybody check this out. In this PDF, they totally took out the sentence that says you are not misguided. You have accepted no guide at all. See?
Get out of here.
No way.
Look at that. That's why it's good that we have both. The recognition of this is your firm beginning.
Wow.
You see how it's not here?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That's a little slick one.
That's the ego. It's like, no, we can't hit you with that.
That was too true. That was too true. Well, we're just gonna highlight that one in our minds.
Yeah, that's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what else stands out to you here, junior member?
Well, then the sentence right after that, instruction in perception is your great need, for you understand nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And one thing that I always love about the course is how it restates, things that it's already said to make it even that much more clear to you.
Yes. So you could say that, and then you could say, in other words, recognize this, but do not accept it because perceptions, recognize this, but do not accept it, for understanding is your inheritance.
Exactly.
So, yes, that's very, those two are really good. So our inheritance is understanding, because in understanding you have certainty, and the course says knowledge is certainty and certainty is strength. So when you have understanding, you have knowledge and you have certainty, which is strength, which also means on the flip side, if you don't have it, you're in a state of weakness, because what's more weak than being indecisive, you know, right? You don't know which way to go. Even if it's something like, I don't know. Do you think I should get this? Or should I get that? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think I should wear? Should I wear this one or that one? I don't know. Okay. Maybe both, maybe neither, maybe none. I don't know. It's like, just make a choice. And if you make a choice and you find out it doesn't work, you can change your mind. But if you don't make a choice, you will remain in fear. Indecisiveness is of the ego. Indecisiveness is of fear. So,
Yeah. Wow.
Jazz, anything in there stuck out to you?
The final sentence.
This one, yet your willingness to learn of him depends on your willingness to question everything you learned of yourself, for you who learned amiss should not be your own teacher. Damn. Yeah. I agree.
Can
Nothing.
you put that also for mines too? Because that one I was gonna.
I don't know. You gotta ask Jazz because she maybe not want
Jazz.
to share with you.
Can we share this one? Yeah, you can put it. Yeah.
All right, look at that.
It makes a better color than the pink and green.
It does. It's like a money
That's true.
green.
I'll give you that one.
Money green now. So y'all should get together and make some money. All right. So who else? Oh yeah, Em, anything for you in this?
Yeah, well, the purpose of, well, seeing that the last sentence stood out to me, it always goes back to where it says the Bible tells you to become as a little child or little children. Children tend to question everything and anything, and they would not stop until they find like the answer that sticks with them, or just questioning everything just you tend to find more answers from different people in that end. So the more questions you ask, the more knowledge you receive, and the more knowledge you receive, the more you can mold yourself to be the person that you are today. I don't know, I see it as that. So yeah.
Okay.
No.
I agree. So what I wanted to say about that is children ask what's called honest questions. And there's a difference between honest questions and dishonest questions. And the difference is that an honest question is one where you're actually asking because you want to know what's going on, and it's just curiosity. And dishonest question is an attack in the form of a question. So it's like, why did you pick that stupid outfit? That's an attack on your outfit in the form of a question, as opposed to, hey, where'd you get that outfit? Or, what were you thinking about when you put that outfit together? Is different. So I wrote a whole chapter on it in the communication book, which is talking about honest and dishonest questions. I'm going to show you a quick clarity chart that kind of gives you a summary of it. So if we could read this together. So Junior member, I'll read the right side. You can read this side. So the kind of dishonest question, you can read that, and I'll read the example of how it can look.
All right. All right. A judgment in the form of a question. It judges as it asks.
So it's like, why are you wearing that ugly outfit? Do you always act this crazy? Why do you want to see that stupid movie?
An assumption or expectation in the form of a question. It assumes or expects something. It expects this something to happen, or has happened, or is going to happen. Projection.
Right. Oh, and also it's this part too.
The questioner takes a position that they already know what the something is, and ask as if it were the case.
So for example, you didn't answer when I called. Lemon, was something wrong? You gonna lie to me? You lying about this, or you lying about that? Or what are you gonna cook for us tonight? M. Right? It's assuming that you're gonna,
Right.
yeah, it's assuming it's gonna happen, right? All right, let's
Mhm.
keep going.
Yeah. A leading or suggestive question. A question that offers a position and tactically suggests you to answer it the way that it prefers. Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah, doing the martial arts, don't you think that's a bad idea? Andrew. Hey,
That's a good one. People
Well,
love using that one. You sure that's a good idea?
you remember about giving me that $100 that time? Don't you think that's a great idea? Isn't this better than that? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So limitation.
A limitation in the form of a question that limits the acceptable responses and is not open to any other responses.
So, do you want to see the Avengers Infinity Wars or the Avengers second part of Infinity Wars movie? Or should we purchase the gold package or the silver package? Which one? It's not like, what movie do you want to see? It's
Right.
like, do you want to see this or that? Do you want to do this? Who said I wanted to purchase any package, right? But
Right.
that kind of thing. So limitation. It's more, y'all. So
Whew.
let's let the ladies take
All
this
right.
one. So M, you
Right.
can read the left side, and Jazz, you can read the right side. So accusation.
Awesome. An accusation in the form of a question that accuses you of something while it appears to be asking you about it.
My phone is missing. Where did you put it? How long have you been abusing your partner?
Yeah.
Did you rob the bank alone, or did you have an accomplice?
Right? So it's not saying, do you abuse your partner? It's like, how long have you been doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how long you been beating your wife, that kind of thing.
Cops do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
Explain how. Tell me how.
Because they want to put on that pressure. Like, if you answer any way that is acceptable for this question, you are indicting yourself.
Yes. And we forget two important things when dealing with the police. And this is a real world lesson. Number one, complete this sentence. You have the right to
Remain
Remain
silent.
silent.
anything you say can and will be used
Against you.
but not in your favor, not for your
Nope.
defense.
No,
Nope.
against you. They
Oh,
say it
okay.
to you now, yeah.
Okay. And here's the second thing you may or may not be aware of. In this country, and I'm sure others, police are legally, any federal or state or local law enforcement agents are legally allowed to straight up lie to you in order to get a confession. So they can
Yes.
say, we saw you at the place, we have footage, don't make us bring the footage out, we just signed the paper, take the lesser plea, and let's just keep it moving. And
Yep.
it'll
That's
be
how
a
they
total
trick you.
lie, but you'll be like,
Yeah.
but maybe I was there. And you be questioning your own sanity. And you're just like, well, they're saying I only get 2 years instead of 20, so I better just, maybe they Photoshopped me. And just, the best thing is to just remain silent and get a lawyer. So,
No, for
Yes.
sure. Or like they did with the Prospect Park 5. With the
yeah,
with the Central Park 5, sorry. How they were like, yeah, Marshawn told us, man. He told us you did it. He told us he saw you, killer. We got you, man. All your friends said you did it. So you better sign the papers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's legal. They can do that, which means
Yeah,
you gotta
right.
you gotta know your rights and shut the fuck up.
Same thing with the Scottsboro boys.
Okay, so awesome.
All right. Continuing. Distrust and doubt.
Okay, distrust and doubt in the form of a question that reveals a lack of trust.
Do you know where you're going? Are you sure that's correct?
Wow.
Is a good one. False premise and spurious correlation or lie.
So a question based on entirely false premise. A question that is not based in truth.
Hold on, there's more. This part.
A question that conflates or mixes form and content and is based on a spurious correlation lie.
Just hold a lie.
Correlation lie.
Yeah.
Naeem, who do you love more, me or him?
I love
I love
the
it.
other one you didn't mention more, actually, than both of y'all.
No. I asked me or him. So this is also one of those questions from earlier where you get two options.
You're combining the crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta make new columns now.
Yeah.
She put a combo. She put a triple threat. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to break my heart?
Oh, I like that one.
Why did you hurt my feelings?
Ooh.
How can I get you to trust me?
Yes. All insanity, all lies. And here's the last one. Deception and nosiness, straight up.
Wow. In the form of a question, just being nosy, asking things that are not your business. Wow.
Wow, you look so nice. Who are you going to go see? You got a promotion? That's great. How much are you making now?
Yes.
That's a very common questions among many people. Don't know how to mind their own business. So yeah.
Very true.
Yes.
In dealing with that scenario, what do you do if you are being asked that something you know is a dishonest question? So what would you do?
There's many ways to.
With love.
Yeah, with love. Yeah.
What would you do, Jazz?
Ghost them with love.
Okay, so you just won't respond to it. All right. And
Ghost them with love. Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
what do you say, Junior member? How do you respond or not?
Well, I would definitely, pull out my my love, tactical, social, skills here and put them into practice to deviate around the question, or just send it right back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So deflect. All right.
The Steven Seagal.
Yeah. Take it. Use it against you. Yeah. All right. So I think it's my turn next for this next part. So it says, back to the reading. No one. Well, first of all, was that helpful? That little part about honest and dishonest questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just want to make the lesson more clear. So, continuing, no one can withhold the truth except from himself. Yet God will not refuse you the answer he gave. Ask then for what is yours, and do not defend yourself against truth. Don't be a defense against the truth, y'all. You made the problem, God has answered. Ask yourself, therefore, but one simple question. Do I want the problem or do I want the answer? Again, do I want the problem or do I want the answer? Decide for the answer and you will have it, for you will see it as it is and it is yours already. I'm going to receive. I want this one at the end right here. Decide for the answer and you will have it, for you will see it as it is and it is yours already. Did they skip anything in that one? Did you see?
Yeah, it did.
Yes, they did.
All right, read it.
Let me see. No one will hold it from himself. Yet God will not refuse. Ask then and for what is yours. It says, so the part that says ask then for what is yours, but which you did not make, and do not defend yourself against the truth. That part, the part that wasn't added was but which you did not make.
Okay, yes. That's important. See? Ego trying to get us. All right. Jazz, anything you want to take out of this? Excuse me, Lemon.
Well, Najib, I like the question, do I want the problem or do I want the answer? I'm sure someone important said this, but this is a Jack Sparrow quote otherwise. The problem is not that there is a problem, but that you think there's a problem.
Aha. And I can tell you where that is. That is in the workbook, lesson 79. Let me recognize the problem.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, they be reading the course. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. A problem cannot be solved if you do not know what the problem is. Even if the problem is, I'm gonna substitute where it says it, I'm gonna just replace it for the subject, so it makes it easy to understand. So a problem cannot be solved if you do not know what the problem is. Even if the problem is really solved already, you will still have the problem because you will not recognize that the problem has been solved. This is the situation of the world. The problem of separation, which is the only real problem, has already been solved. Yet the solution is not recognized because the problem is not recognized. So once again, the only problem you have is you think there's a problem. Oh, we're so separate, but you're not. You know, it's like you close your eyes. You sitting across from Andrew. You close your eyes. You're like, why did you leave me? And then you're like, nobody left. You just not looking, you know, or why did the world go black when I closed my eyes? The world is gone. The world's disappeared. But then you open your eyes like, oh, the world is back. There's no problem. Problem is you think there's a problem because you think by closing your eyes, everything is gone, when in fact, you just blocked your sight of it, which is why it's saying stop being a defense to the truth. You know, do not be a defense to the truth. But okay.
Someone once posted on Facebook, isn't playing peekaboo just making fun of babies for their lack of understanding of object permanence?
It is, yeah. It's traumatizing them too, probably. They probably get traumatized and they think you're gone, and then they come back and they heal. Then you traumatize them again, you know, but it's okay. They'll learn. They'll be good.
And the fact that you do it over and over again is hilarious.
So, anything you want to take away from this one?
You know, this one is very clear and straightforward with what the message is saying, you know, like it's all about perception. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you can either create the problem or solve it. You know, it's all up to you. It's all your perception and how you want to deal with certain situations. So it's straight on forward. And I like this part for sure. I like the whole passage. Yeah. Yeah.
And you, do you remember anything?
Well, you know, the last sentence, it speaks exactly to what you were talking about earlier, you know, talking about certainty. Because when you have, you know, when you're certain, there is no doubt, you can make a decision for love and you know exactly what you want. There's, you know, you recognize there is no problem. You are the solution, you are love at all times. So when you make that decision for that answer, that, you know, that's what sets you free.
Yeah.
Is it this one, the last one, decide for the answer?
Yes. Yeah.
You have it? All right, yes. Well, I guess I could share with you.
You know, you give me some of that.
$29.99. Let's see what our colors look like when they combine.
Oh, look at that.
It looks brighter, like a brighter red.
Yeah, they look kind of the same. All right, cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, it's back around to you, Jazz.
You may complain that this course is not sufficiently specific for you to understand and use, yet perhaps you have not done what it specifically advocates.
Oh shit, that's a low-key blow to us right there, saying, oh, you think it's not suspicious, but maybe you didn't do what the hell it said. Maybe you didn't do that. I don't know. That's funny. All right, go
ahead. Reminds me of your book.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be some smart alecky truth remarks up in there, calling people out on their bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah. This is not a course in the play of ideas, but in their practical application. Naeem. Nothing could be more specific than to be told that if you ask, you will receive. The Holy Spirit will answer every specific problem as long as you believe that problems are specific. His answer is both many and one, as long as you believe that the one is many. You may be afraid of his specificity for fear of what you think it will demand of you, yet only by asking will you learn that nothing of God demands anything of you. God gives, he does not take. When you refuse to ask, it is because you believe that asking is taking rather than sharing.
All right. What do you receive out of that? What do you want to highlight?
The Holy Spirit's answer, no. You may be afraid of his specificity for fear of what you think it will demand of you. I'm
Hmm.
gonna check on my people.
Okay, we'll be here. M, what do you wanna? What resonated with you here?
There's several. Um,
But you can only have one though. I mean,
yes, I know, I know.
no, it's fine. No, take as many as you want.
I like the last sentence and the fact that when you refuse to ask, it is because you believe that asking is taking rather than sharing. Always reminds me of always give to receive, not the opposite. Well, receive, and some people just receive. You understand, instead of giving back. So it's, you see that fear in asking that question to resolve the problem that you think it's a problem in the first place. Like, yeah, that really stuck out to me for sure. When you refuse to ask, just ask. What's the problem with asking? Don't put that fear behind you. Yeah, and sharing is very important because it's part of love. And yeah, it's part of love to share with everybody and not have any type of fear against anyone or judge them. So yeah, that one stuck out to me for sure.
Okay, thank you for that. And junior member.
I'll take the sentence that says, "Nothing could be more specific than to be told that if you ask, you will receive." Because I remember listening to a specific spiritual teacher. I can't remember his name right now, but he mentioned that I think he was teaching law of attraction, and he said that when you manifest anything to the universe is always saying yes to anything you project, anything you're speaking, anything you're manifesting, anything you're asking for. Even when you say, "I don't want," it never hears the "I don't." It just hears "I" and whatever you're saying, whatever object, whatever situation, whatever state of mind, it always says yes, and you should always receive it. So if you program to yourself and into the universe that "I am sad," or "I am depressed," or "I don't like this people," or "I don't like this situation," the universe will continue to give you more of that because that is what you asked for. So that is what you will receive, and vice versa. When you speak blessings, when you speak love and peace and healing, that's exactly what you will be receiving.
I remember hearing that too, and law of attraction lesson about, it's always yes. And here's a shortcut cheat codes to the law of attraction. One thing is, they say, oh, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. People say that. Here's another shortcut. It's like, we attract everything. It's about what you choose. All right. It's like, oh, always attract abusive people. Actually, you attract all kind of people. You just keep choosing abusive people. You act like the only people that come into your sphere of awareness are abusive. No, that's just your mindset, and that's what you gravitated toward because that's what you're addicted to, because that may be part of your programming. And what's familiar, human beings will always go for what's familiar. Our animal side, our ego, you'll go for what's familiar more than what's good for you. You may know that, okay, this person is so kind and so nurturing and gracious, and I'm used to growing up in an abusive or being in an abusive relationship where they're always fighting and screaming. This person they're more soft spoken, and I don't know, that's so unfamiliar to me. But I know they're still nice and stuff, but I'm used to someone yelling and screaming and forcing me and all of that. And then you choose that even though you know it's not good for you because it's familiar. But familiar doesn't always mean healthy. Right? I always use the example, just because it may be familiar to you to have, to walk outside your house and see a couple dead bodies every couple days, like 2 or 3 days, like there's been a shooting and a couple dead bodies out. Like, yeah, you just step over the bodies. But then a whole week passes and you didn't see no dead bodies. You're like, wow, this is better. Or we only seen one dead body. But you know what? You seeing any dead bodies out in front of your house is not healthy, okay? So the fact that you have gotten used to it doesn't mean it's good for you. Oh, we only have 2 drive-bys a week now. It used to be 10. That still doesn't mean one drive-by is healthy, you know?
Yeah.
But so we've been in this Stockholm syndrome sort of situation where it's like, oh, they only beat me once a day instead of 5 times a day now. So you're like, that's a improvement where, because you forgot that getting beaten any amount of times a day where it's not in, you know, a consensual, fun way, then it's an attack and it's a call for love and it's not good for you. So anyway, moving
I
on.
have a question though.
Yes.
How can somebody realize that something is healthy or unhealthy? Because you're right, there's people that perceive, you know, they're like okay with things that people are not okay with, you know, like
Becomes their norm.
it becomes their norm. Like for instance, I know in the States, people it's becoming the norm to eat unhealthy food. They're seeing that as okay, as like, you know, a way of, yeah, this is just the 21st century, you know, accepted and I don't care what it does to my body.
Only
you know,
got type
like,
1 diabetes, not type 2.
Exactly. So like, how can a person be aware of that if something is unhealthy or healthy? Like, you know, if that's becoming their norm, because
Well,
if it's normal to them,
there's 2
you know.
ways. One
Mhm.
way is they learn and study and qualify themselves to tell the differentiation, which is what we're doing, studying the difference between love and fear. The other way is you reach a threshold of pain where those unhealthy choices you're making, be they relationships, food, thoughts, way of life, it gets to a point where it becomes unbearable because everybody has a pain threshold. It could be you in an abusive, violent relationship and it was 1 black eye, but it took 2 black eyes for you. Or it was 5 broken ribs, it took 10 broken ribs. It took, you know, you got, you know, your lip bloody, this time you got a concussion, you know, or whatever it may be. It usually, and this is the more popular way. Most people need, or they wait until it becomes, the pain becomes so unbearable that they have to make a decision because it is no longer, is untenable to live in that scenario anymore, you know? So, and then they realize the power of their decision because once they change their minds, that mindset that says, this is not acceptable. I'm not going to do this anymore. Never again. You know, fuck this. I'm moving on. Whatever it is that clicks in them, sometimes it takes an amount of pain and sometimes it just takes awareness, which requires study and discipline because an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. So if you think you're just going to stumble upon the truth or upon health or upon wealth or upon, you know, just a more or insanity, you're wrong. You're not going to stumble upon it. It is a specific, systematic, universal way of thinking and living your life from those universal principles. It's not something that is haphazard, meaning it's the same for everybody in every situation, every time. If you follow the principles, if Jazz, if Andrew, if I follow the principles, we'll have the same results. But the same thing, if we follow the principles of fear, we'll have the same results as well. So it's the same each way. So for example, I'll just share the screen real quick, show you some of those principles. So here we go. I think it's in the next chapter here. Form and yeah, here we go. So these things, love and fear. If I follow the left side, I'm going to have pain, suffering, misery in my life. So if I think with distrust, miscommunication, ingratitude, confusion, misery, guilt, disrespect, attack, imprisonment, judgment, uncertainty, lies, there's a very definite way my life is going to go. But if I instead choose to think with trust, communication, to practice gratitude, clarity, happiness, innocence, respect, freedom, unlimitedness, protection, safety, acceptance, certainty, truth, there is a definite way my life is going to go, predictably, because those are principles and they don't intertwine. You don't have confusion and certainty at the same time. It's like, Naeem, what's 2 plus 2? 4. You sure? A little bit. Like, you either sure or you not. Okay? If you're sure, you're sure. If you are anything other than sure, you're not sure. And that's it. There's no a little bit sure. Like there's no a little bit of abuse or a little bit of poison or a little bit of health. You're either healthy or you're sick. You're either eating poison or you're not. That's it. And people don't like that I put it that simply or that it is that simple. But as the Course says, simplicity is difficult for twisted minds, because you want shit to be complicated. That's why Facebook has a relationship status, meaning it's complicated.
It's complicated. Oh.
It should just be changed to it's a call for love right now, y'all, which means
Yeah.
that was way better, but they wouldn't use that.
it's a call for
No,
love.
but even Einstein says it, that his quote says it perfectly. Like it's the insane mind is the one that tries to do the same process and get different results.
Yes. He also said if you can't explain it simply, you don't know it well enough.
Ha, there you go.
So
He must have been reading the Course.
how about that? You know, but as you said in your principles, what is it? As above, so below, and as within, so without. This is a
Yes.
man who thought about light and light travel and the idea of light and its movement and calculating it and how it interacts with the physical universe since he was 10 years old. Just thinking about it all day. Like, what would it be like if I was riding my bike next to a beam of light and I look back, or if I tried to shine a beam? He would do all these thought experiments. And so by going that deep into the natural laws and trying to observe that, he had a grasp of the universal laws because he gave it deep scientific thought, not just imagination, although imagination gets you there because, imagination is unlimited. And without the imagination of, great thinkers like that, Tesla and etc., wouldn't have a lot of the inventions that we see are built on scientific principles, but they did the work in their minds first. Nikola Tesla never wrote down a damn thing in his for his designs. He would create a machine in his mind, he would run it in his mind, he would stop it, he would fix it, and he would recalibrate it and put every little piece together. So when he got his materials together, he would put it together for real and in real time, and the shit would work. And they were like, well, how did you do that? He's like, I did it already in my head. And that's the same
the
thing.
first principle.
Yes.
Principle of mentalism.
Mentalism.
All is mind. The universe is mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the idea. What's more valuable, y'all? This phone, this physical device, or the idea that produced it?
The idea.
Because the idea that produced it can produce another one. But when I break this and it's just, it's gone, it's done, I'm like, oh, I don't have a phone. But the idea that created it can create many, many, many more phones. That's the point. So I'm on mute. Are we ready to continue?
Sure.
It's giving us a timer here, dude. Should we look at
Yeah,
that?
don't worry about that right now. We got about 7 minutes or so.
Awesome.
All right, so we're gonna
All right,
read. We're gonna read the next two. All right, yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. So the Holy Spirit will give you only what is yours and will take nothing in return. For what is yours is everything, and you share it with God. That is its reality. Would the Holy Spirit, who wills only to restore, be capable of misinterpreting the question you must ask to learn his answer? You have heard the answer, but you have misunderstood the question. You believe that to ask for guidance of the Holy Spirit is to ask for deprivation.
Yeah. Crazy. Anything you want to highlight here?
I like the part, for what is yours is everything, and you share it with God. God is within you. The universe is within you. So everything starts with you. So everything is yours. You perceive it. With
Jazz.
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
You believe that to ask for guidance of the Holy Spirit is to ask for deprivation.
What is that one? Why does that stand out to you?
Mostly because I'm confused by it. To ask for, guidance. And it reminds me of limitations of organized, say, religion or things like that. or you did the whole thing about cults. There's eventually like, you can and cannot connect with X people. You can and cannot eat this. And it feels like in order to receive guidance, you have to absolutely relinquish, everything, but that's not the case. That's what it feels like. And that's what we're taught in different religions and different cultures and different sects of life, but it's not the case. Am I interpreting that correctly?
Yes, because it is back to the interpretation. We believe that to ask guidance of love or Holy Spirit is to ask for deprivation, meaning limitation. Meaning you're gonna take away all that I already had, the little bit I already have. The Holy Spirit. This book is when is it ever telling you to make a lifestyle change, or you have to give away all that you own, or you have to live in an ashram, or it doesn't talk about that. It says change your mind. Remember the part we read that said, seek not to change the world, but to change what? Your mind about the world, right? So you can be a billionaire and be miserable. You can also be a billionaire and be at peace. But the money doesn't mean anything. It's what you decide to use it for. You use it to worry you, then, like Sadhguru says, if you give an ant a ton of gold, it's going to crush the ant. It doesn't know, it can't deal with it. It doesn't make the ant rich. If you have the psyche of an ant and someone gives you a gold bar, it's going to destroy you. All right. Because you don't know how to use that in the service of something greater, and whatever it is that is your chosen course of demise, you're going to have the means to proliferate that in your life. So if you're a big drug addict, you have all the money now, you can get, all the drugs under the rainbow, all the colors, all the styles, all the different, you can do whatever you can just make yourself go straight downhill a lot quicker. If you're a generous person, you're going to use the money in that way, whatever the case. But yeah, Jazz, what you said, we believe, the ego believes that to ask for guidance means that the Holy Spirit is going to take away what little we think we have. When it says here, not in this part, another part, you don't ask too much of life, you ask far too little. And what the Course says, the only thing that you should ever ask for? Everything, right? This part here, what is yours is everything. Is you share it with God. So if you're asking for less than everything, you are not asking for enough. It's like, no, I just want a little bit. Like, no, everything. It all for you because it's from God. So
That's right.
With that said, Junior member, anything?
Yes. I was just gonna touch back to what she was saying and highlight the sentence right after that, right? That's its reality for what is yours is everything, and you share it with God. That is its reality. So I love that, because if that is what you choose to see, that is the reality that you will live, right? You will live in the reality of everything, like you just said, not just a little bit, not just a little piece, but everything, because you are everything. So that's beautiful, simple, sweet, to the point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is the one I'm going to choose. You have heard the answer, but you have misunderstood the question. All right. You have misunderstood the question. It's like, I heard you say I should ask for everything, but how can I ask for everything? Then nobody else will have anything. Like, no, you misunderstood the question. If the question is what belongs to you from God, what God is talking about is not a physical asking. It's asking for love, for peace of mind, for what is this? Well, let's go back to this other thing. All of this stuff on this side of the chart is what you ask for: trust, communication, gratitude. Because the question is, can you share trust with everyone, with anyone or everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Can you share your house with everyone?
Yes.
In the world, can everyone in the world fit in your house?
Well, they can't fit. No, now they wouldn't all fit, but
they wouldn't fit. But
y'all can fit. Y'all invited.
Right. So that's because it's form. So what's on form, everyone can't share in the same form, the exact same form. Like, everyone wants to have a family and children, or everyone wants this amount of money, or everyone wants to work with this kind of job. But everyone can have trust in their relationships. Everyone can have communication. Everyone can have gratitude. Everyone can have clarity. Everyone can have happiness. Everyone can have innocence. Everyone can have respect. That's what we're talking about. That's the thing that we all share. That's what is for everyone. That's everything. Because as opposed to everything in the physical universe, you can't even calculate it. So it's like, what's the point? So since this has like 15 segments, we're gonna just go up to yours where your tattoo. We're gonna read up to that one, which is two more.
Two more, yeah, I see.
All right.
Yeah. So I will read this one. Okay. Little child of God, you do not understand your father. You believe in a world that takes because you believe that you can get by taking, and that's the ego shit. It only gets what it takes. By that perception, you have lost sight of the real world. You are afraid of the world as you see it, but the real world is still yours for the asking. Do not deny it to yourself, for it can only free you. Nothing of God will enslave his son or his children, whom he created free, and whose freedom is protected by his being. Blessed are you who are willing to ask the truth of God without fear, Emily. Blessed are you who are willing to ask the truth of God without fear, junior member. Blessed are you who are willing to ask the truth of God without fear. What's up, Doc? And blessed am I who is willing to ask the truth of God without fear. Blessed are we who are willing to ask the truth of God without fear, for only thus can we learn that his answer is the release from fear.
Oh, fear.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm going to go ahead and receive this here.
Yes, I think we may all be going for that one.
Yeah, the
So-
full like last sentence for sure.
Yes.
I love the part with the answer is the release from fear. Your answer is releasing that fear in the first place. Of receiving that love.
Yeah. Anything you want to highlight? What's up, Doc?
You are afraid of the world as you see it, but the real world is still yours for the asking.
Mhm. Anything you, junior member? Anything else?
Yeah, I'll take the other one. Nothing of God will enslave his son, whom he created free, and whose freedom is protected by his being. His being is the protection, so you're always protected. And
Just because of who you are. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I always tell her, whenever the programming for any circumstance, whether it's here, locally or nationally, incites any fear within you, that's one of the first things, one of the truths that you can, ground yourself in. That just you being a son of God, a son of the universe, a byproduct of the universe, you're already protected by it being and you being a part of it, a direct extension of it, being one with it, being of it and with it at all times. You're always protected.
How about that lesson 253? What does it say right here, junior member?
Myself is ruler of the universe.
Yes.
Ashe to that.
How about that? That's enough right there.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So, Jazz, you want to take us home with this last one?
Sure. Beautiful child of God, you are asking only for what I promised you. Do you believe I would deceive you? The kingdom of heaven is within you. Believe that the truth is in me, for I know that it is in you. God's sons have nothing they do not share. Ask for truth of any son of God, and you have asked it of me. Not one of us, but has the answer in him to give to anyone who asks it of him.
Did it skip anything in the book? Or is that everything?
No, that was all there.
all it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to point out, Jazz?
Ask for truths of any son of God, and you have asked it of me.
What does that mean to you? How do you ask for truth from someone? Because son of God just means anyone.
It goes back to the Holy Encounters thing. Shout out to our group name, where looking at someone else is your truth. You're looking back at yourself. And so if we all have, everything and the answers to everything, and we have a right to the answers and everything, that is our truth. And that comes from anyone. But then my thing becomes back to the untrained mind. You get so many answers, even as children. If we talk about asking honest questions and having a mentality of questioning through a child's gaze, you get so many answers, so many different answers to the same questions. A lot of times you'll have people saying, well, don't listen to that person, don't listen to this person. As a parent, you have to decide who can influence your child. So if you can ask the truth of anyone, how do you know, like really, that that the specific information on even on the level of content, as we do not understand love and fear ourselves, how do you know you are receiving the truth?
Is that a question?
Yes.
Can you rephrase it? Or just repeat it.
Okay. I was gonna say the first part of my name is Watts.
Oh, that's a good one.
But how do you know you're receiving the truth when a lot of us are untrained?
Gotta get trained. That's how. You gotta get trained in a curriculum that is 100% uncompromising in the truth. And it will not start out that way unless you are delivered into a family or choose a family or a guide who happens to be about the universal truth and teaches that to you and you learn it from them. Those are all variables, because even if you are born into, I know people who are on the course and who've had children who've done this stuff and children just straight out reject it. It's so there's no surefire way of saying this is how you do it. The best thing you can do is live your life, follow the path, participate, get your lumps and bumps, and when you've gotten enough of them things, you will automatically choose for what is not painful anymore, because the truth is not painful. The truth is not, it's gonna hurt you. And we naturally have like a compass in us that's telling us like something in you know that this is wrong. Why do you think there were so many damn slave rebellions and things like that? Because they're like, just because they were born into slavery, they weren't like, well, this is just the way it's supposed to be. It's like, no, there's so many more rebellions that were never spoken of, written about, that we never know, because even just the little rebellions, like the house slaves grinding up glass into the master's food, like, oh, you want some porridge, motherfucker, here, with the glass in it. And it's like, oh, Sadie, I got some stomach problems now in the bed. And it's like, oh, you got stomach problems? Let me help you with that. Rub some stuff on your stomach that got some little poison ivy in it at the same time. It's like, oh, I think I'm itching now. Oh, you itching? I got something for you. And then, all of that is rebellion, okay? Yeah. Just because it's not bloody or it's because it's not, okay, we got free and went up north, doesn't mean that someone is happy in that situation. Happiness is love. And when you're not in a state of happiness, joy, and total fulfillment, your spirit knows. And if you would not resist what it knows and follow that, then the path will be revealed to you. And it doesn't have to be in writing. I mean, how did Harriet Tubman, being illiterate, find her way, navigate so many times through those obstacles in order to, free so many people physically? It's like, it's going to reveal itself to you. And speaking for this day and time, or speaking for just the universal principle, how do you know when there's lies, there's misguidance? You don't know in the beginning, but there's a part of you that does know. And the more that you're still and listen to the truth and stop allowing yourself to be distracted by what you know is not right. Like even in relationships that are not healthy, we know when it's time to end the relationship. We know when it's time to get out of that. But there's something in us, like the whole Stockholm syndrome, or like, oh, but maybe they'll change, or I'll just stay a little long, whatever. But deep down, until it gets to that point where you flip that switch and say, hell no, not anymore. So
Yeah.
the path is revealed to you, and everybody has their own individualized paths, their own way that they're gonna go. A Course in Miracles isn't for everybody, you know. Um, a form of meditation is not for everybody. A certain lifestyle, a certain, calling on certain deities or whatever, it's not for everybody. But as the Course says, there's no path that does not lead you to God or to love. So therefore, whatever path you're on, whether part of the world you live in, whatever culture you're in, hey, people have made it, meaning have achieved their happiness in that place, in that time. So you're not special. You'll have yours too. The sooner you're willing to give up your resistance and stop receiving pain and make a decision. So yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah.
But anything else? Anyone else wanna? Well, we know what yours is, junior members, right?
Oh yeah, you already know what I'm gonna go for.
For me, definitely believe that the truth is in me, and for I know that it is in you. So for instance, the truth is love. So if you know you have the truth within you, you have that love within you, you love yourself, that you're ready to then share that love with others. So definitely that stuck out to me. The truth is in me, and it's also in everyone's own universe. So yeah,
Wonderful.
I like that part for sure.
Universe.
Yeah.
So to review, let's just go back through this and everybody read your highlighted section. So I'll read the yellow ones, and let's see. So this is from chapter 11, part 9, the problem and the answer. So the end of the world is not its destruction, but its translation into heaven.
The reinterpretation of the world is the transfer of all perception to knowledge.
The Bible tells you to become as little children.
Oh, who's gonna take the multiple ones?
All right, let the ladies take it. Let's make it easy. That's you, Jazz.
Little children recognize that they do not understand what they perceive, and so they ask what it means.
In other words, do not make the mistake of believing that you understand what you perceive, or its meaning is lost to you. Jazz.
Yet while you think you know its meaning, you will see no need to ask it of him.
Instruction in perception is your great need, for you understand nothing.
You got
Yet your willingness to learn of him depends on your willingness to question everything you learned of yourself. For you who learned amiss should not be your own teacher.
Yeah, definitely say that not part. That's an important part. I might
Should
have
not
to
be your own teacher.
highlight that. Yeah, not be your own teacher right there. Okay. Ask then for what is yours and do not defend yourself against truth.
Do I want the problem or do I want the answer?
The problem, y'all. Decide for the answer and you will have it, for you will see it as it is, and it is yours already.
Nothing could be more specific than to be told that if you ask, you will receive.
You may be afraid of his specificity for fear of what you think it will demand of you.
When you refuse to ask, it is because you believe that asking is taking rather than sharing. For what is yours is everything, and you share it with God.
That is its reality.
You have heard the answer, but you have misunderstood the question.
You believe that to ask for guidance of the Holy Spirit is to ask for deprivation.
That's crazy, yo.
You are afraid of the world as you see it, but the real world is still yours for the asking.
Nothing of God will enslave his son, whom he created free and whose freedom is protected by his being.
Blessed are you who are willing to ask the truth of God without fear, for only thus can you learn that his answer is to release from fear. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Believe that the truth is in me, for I know that it is in you.
God's children have nothing they do not share.
Ask for truth of any son of God, and you have asked it of me.
Wow.
Amen. All right. That was great, y'all. I'm going to read this for the sake of our group, which is entitled The Holy Encounter, and it goes as follows. So, when you meet anyone, well, actually turn to your books, chapter 8, part 3, The Holy Encounter. This is the shit. This is it right here. I believe that's paragraph 5 or 4.
Now, when you meet anyone?
Yes.
Okay,
4.
4.
So,
Mm.
when you meet anyone, let's do it different. Let's each read a sentence of this. So we'll go in the order: Jazz, M, Andrew, me. So go ahead.
When you meet anyone, remember it is a holy encounter.
As you see him, you will see yourself.
As you treat him, you will treat yourself.
As you think of him, you will think of yourself.
Never forget this, for in him you will find yourself or lose yourself.
Whenever two sons of God meet, they are given another chance at salvation.
Do not leave anyone without salvation to him and receiving it to yourself.
Without giving salvation to him.
Without giving salvation to him, yeah, and receiving it yourself.
For I am always there with you in remembrance of you. All right. That's what our group is dedicated to. So, yes, that was great.
Yes, thank you so much for having us, for sure. Such a loving enlightenment energy.
Yeah, it's been years, right, since we've connected, you two and me, but also since all of us have connected. This is the first time connecting like this. So, but like it says, love waits on welcome, not on time. So what better way than to remember and join in the truth and love. So
that's right. It's beautiful. We're always grateful to share the knowledge and share the love.
yes. Any giveaways, takeaways, anything you want to say in final thoughts, going from the order, Jazz? Okay.
Well then.
Mosquito. Yeah, but go ahead, Em.
Oh, me. Well, a giveaway to everyone is always be true to yourself, love yourself, acknowledge that the universe is within you. Continue to grow. No one is perfect. We all have lessons to learn from, to grow from, and always share love and light with everybody.
Thank you. Junior member.
I mean, yeah, she summarized it perfectly. You know, be yourself, love thyself. Through loving thyself, you love thy brother. You know, so always resonating at a high frequency. That's the keys to living your best life.
All right. And my final thing is I appreciate you all for joining. Thank you for taking the time. And, you know, it's I don't take it for granted because I receive as much from doing this as I give, and to give and receive is one in truth. And so my only question is, would you all be willing to do this again in any configuration? Doesn't have to be all of us, but would you be willing to have another conversation?
Absolutely.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, until next time, I'll see y'all in the group chat. And
Awesome.
Wait, let me just take a picture of this so Frank can see you, Emma.
Yes, tell him I said hello. Oh my gosh, Frank, I haven't seen you in a while.
I got the sun right by me.
well, let's make it. I'm gonna here. Let's make their video bigger. Hold on, like that.
Got it.
Got it.
Hold on. There.
I like that.
I love it. What's up, dog?
that is in homage to a teacher of mine.
No way.
We can't hear you, Naeem. Everything,
Okay.
I mean.
And we can't see you. Let me see if we, boom. All right, so as I was saying, until next time, everyone, this has been another episode of Love 101 Media. We join in having healthy relationships, having conversations about love and healthy relationships. Today we talked about Course in Miracles, reading from chapter 11, part 9, the problem and the answer via the tattoo from junior member Andrew over here. Got it representing right now. So we went in on that truth together, and I was joined today. Today was all of us, the Holy Encounter with Jazz, or What's Up Doc, Lemon, and Emily and Andrew, and myself. So till next time, love is not a game. And
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way.